The mercenaries walking in the open field didn't hear the FPV drone. A Russian FPV drone struck the enemy vehicle from behind. The vehicle sustained minor damage. No one was injured. The vehicle continued on its way. It released footage of the liberation of Novopodgorodnoye in the Dnipropetrovsk region. The enemy had turned the roads leading to the village into a strong defensive stronghold, but the assault units advanced systematically in small groups. To reach the outskirts of the village, they had to use artillery and FPV drones to breach the barriers.
Don't forget to leave your opinion about the video in the comments, subscribe, and like.
Testing of the Ukrainian-made Kayazi brand FPV drone net launcher. Designed for the National Police and light transport vehicles, this device launches a net at an approaching drone, thereby easily neutralizing the drone approaching from behind. Enemy military supplies were found inside a ruined building in the Kherson region and are being destroyed immediately. Nothing remained intact after the fire broke out. This is how a Russian FPV drone caught 2 mercenaries. A Garin drone struck the Nikopolskaya solar power plant located near the village of Starozavodskoye in the Dnipropetrovsk region. Combat operations conducted by the crew of the Santa UAV attached to the 144th Motorized Infantry Division to neutralize enemy UAVs in the skies over Krasnokamensk. Russian net-launching drones neutralized the enemy's drones. While elite units of the Ukrainian armed forces were taking cover in their shelters, FPV drone operators attached to the 5th Army of the Vostok military group carried out intense drone strikes on the enemy's hiding places.
A mobile evacuation group of the 35th Brigade of the Russian Armed Forces opens small arms fire on a Ukrainian FPV drone in the Pokrovsk direction and then destroys the FPV drone. Soldiers from the 123rd Separate Motorized Rifle Regiment of the Southern Military District destroyed a Ukrainian Armed Forces drone shelter and a command center. Ukrainian positions were identified during an aerial reconnaissance mission in the Seversky direction as part of the special military operation. After obtaining the coordinates, FPV drone operators immediately struck the shelter, its personnel, and the UAV control center. Russian drone ambushed and destroyed the ATV. In Konstantinovsky direction, Russian drone operators are destroying the logistics of the Ukrainian armed forces. Central Group forces liberated the settlement of Nikolaevka in Donetsk as a result of offensive operations. Drone operators from the South Military Group shot down a pickup truck belonging to the Ukrainian armed forces. The Ukrainian truck had been covered with as many grills as possible, but as far as we can see, this did not work. Later, an FPV drone struck and destroyed a mounted anti-tank grenade launcher. Russian Air Force planes are striking Ukrainian positions in the direction of Konstantinovka with FAB bombs. Kursk region. A convoy of Ukrainian armed forces armored vehicles attempted an early morning attack in the direction of Glushkovsky. A column of 3 BMPs advanced from Pavlovka towards the Russian state border. The armored vehicles in the pursued convoy were attacked one after another. 2 armored vehicles and 1 Stryker APC were immediately dispersed during the attacks. The attack was repulsed by Russian troops. Kharkiv direction. In the Lyman village area, a 57mm S-60 automatic anti-aircraft gun mounted on a Ural 4320 chassis was destroyed. In the forest belt, the Russians deployed an American-made 155mm M777 howitzer. Despite being surrounded by nets, the Russian operator approached the howitzer with agile maneuvers and destroyed it with a single shot. A Ukrainian drone was shot down by a 30mm Tu-A42 automatic cannon fired from a Russian Ka-52 helicopter. One of Ukraine's most expensive tanks, the T-72M1, was scrapped after successive attacks by Russian fiber-optic drones, Prince Vandal of Novgorod. A few weeks later, The T-72M1 tank appears again in the drone's camera. It is now burnt out and almost destroyed. In the Konstantinovka area, the Russian Air Force struck Ukrainian positions with FAB bombs. Reconnaissance UAVs belonging to the 69th Motorized Rifle Division of the Sever Guard Brigade discovered several observation points belonging to the Ukrainian armed forces in the ruins of Volchansk. Russian FPV drone operators quickly eliminated the targets, leaving Ukrainian forces under the rubble. Footage of the battle in the direction of Kherson. The footage shows Ukrainian forces destroying ammunition alongside shelters and UAV control centers. Infantrymen who took refuge in sturdy houses in the area were unable to escape Russian drone attacks.
Кто потерял вкусняшку? Полторачку.
The footage shows the arrival of the Russian FAB 1500 close to the Ukrainian armed forces' positions in the woods. This time, however, the FAB bomb did not explode.
Охренеть, конечно.
No location given. The epic explosion of the Ukrainian armed forces' ammunition depot. The temporary deployment point of the armed forces of Ukraine in the village of Delivka was destroyed by aircraft-type drone operators and artillery of the southern group. 8 servicemen of the armed forces of Ukraine were killed, and a food and ammunition depot was destroyed. Russian warplanes destroyed various Ukrainian armed forces equipment using fiber optic drones. Ukrainian forces left a pickup truck near the village of Stukalovka, hoping to return after delivering supplies to assault groups. Russian UAV operators interfered with Ukraine's plans and destroyed the vehicle, leaving the infantry without transportation. Missile attack on the 128th Brigade UAV Command Center in the Kamyansky region. The Russians are continuously striking Ukrainian positions with drone operators and artillery units. The Russians are intensively bombing Ukrainian forces, preventing their infantry from raising their heads. A T-72 tank belonging to the Ukrainian armed forces was destroyed in the direction of Pokrovsk. The reckless attempt to cross by the T-72 tank ended in complete failure.
Don't forget to leave your opinion about the video in the comments, subscribe, and like.
Coordinated combat footage of special forces and artillery units affiliated with the South Group, destroying Ukrainian mortar positions.
Выстрел! Выстрел!